Hi, and welcome to Alpha Academia's Ivy Caliber Essays course. My name's Sarah, and I'll be your coach today as we work through the video session on the personal statement. In this session, we're going to talk about what makes a personal statement different from your other college application essays. We're going to show you how to outline and write one. We're going to explain what makes for successful personal statements and what makes them flop. We're going to suggest a couple of other types of essays to pair them with if, for example, in one application you're submitting a personal statement and one or more supplement essays. And let's get right at it. So what is a personal statement? Why the personal statement? It is an admittedly vague art form that allows you to craft a story about yourself, a window into your personality and accomplishments, but in any number of different ways. There are lots of different potential ways to write this. None of them really wrong, unless of course you're boring. It permits a great deal of creativity. Again, there are very few wrong ways to write this, except if you bore your audience to tears. It presents the opportunity to the writer to give the information to the admissions committee that they really want. And we keep harping on this, but you have two things that you want to convey with all of your writing. One, what will you bring to a given school? And two, who do you have the potential to become? Why should they bring you to their school? Because you'll give what to their campus community? And why should they bring you to their school? Invest in your future because of what potential you might have and what you might become one day in terms of an alum of their school. Let's start by talking about the person who's going to be reading your personal statement. Considering your audience, you're talking about someone who has thousands of these things to read in a very short window of time. You desperately want to stand out. This person is going to spend probably no more than 15 minutes on your entire college application. I know that sounds painful given how many hours you spent putting it together. The bottom line here is that you need to grab their attention right out of the gate. The real only crime in a personal statement or any of your writing is boring someone to death. Remember that an admissions officer has a limited number of yeses that they can give. There's only a certain number of slots in any freshman class. Your job is not to give them a reason to say no to you and move on to the next application. So how do you write your personal statement? Decide what makes you unique. What is it that you would bring to a campus community to fill out its diversity card, to make it a richer, more interesting place? Consider very strongly, I know we've said it before, that a personal anecdote makes a great opener. Personal anecdotes are particularly effective in personal statements because, again, it's about you. It should be all about you from the get-go. Carefully choose your past and present accomplishments, interests, and experiences so that they will flow from your opener, past through present to future, and support the overall case of who you are and who you have the potential to become. The personal statement, the art form part of it, is all about that seamless flow from the opener through your past, present, and to your future. You need to make it so that the reader doesn't even notice that that's exactly what's going on there, but that they come away with this great picture of who you are and who they envision you in the future. And so we come again to that last paragraph. That last paragraph that is truly just so darn crucial in terms of your personal statement. You have to make the case of three things. That it's your first choice school that you're excited to matriculate, that you have the potential to be realized by attending. So, your first choice, you're excited about it, and that you have to go to this particular school, and why. Start with your research. Prove that this is your top choice by showing the essay reader that you've spent some time considering their school, getting to know the school, getting to know its culture. Subtle references within your text to things about the school that are unique, citing either very specific academic programs, noting a professor and his or her research, Using nicknames that are associated with that school, either the mascot or a particular place on campus, a nickname for the campus. Like I went to Georgetown. It's called the Hilltop because it sits on top of a hill in Washington, D.C. Referencing the Hilltop means that you know something about this school beyond Georgetown is a really cool school. Okay. Part 2, your excitement about the school that you need to portray. Obviously, this is an intangible, but it's got to go beyond I'd be good for you and you'd be good for me. So let's make a deal. Yeah, no. You need to show that you are excited to go to this particular school. And a lot of that has to do with the previous element of doing your research and showing those particular references to things about the school. And then finally, why you at this particular school? What is it about the school to which you're applying that would help you become the person you so badly want to be? And why only this school? This is where you have to get really, really specific. Again, look at those programs of study, professors and their research, particular course offerings, past alums that have done really, really interesting things, particularly recent alums, and not ridiculously famous ones. I mean, talking about Zuckerberg, okay, well, granted, he didn't graduate anyway, but get specific, but you've got to be really, really concise. Get your point across in just a few words. When we come back, we're going to go through a sample essay, or at least a sample sort of personal statement in terms of how this works, how you go from that personal anecdote through the rest of the essay. So stick with us.